Hi folks, welcome once again to another weekly recap of our current event quizzes. Today we're going to be focusing on quiz number 6 for the benefit of our honors and government and econ students. So let's throw the cartoons from those particular quizzes up here and let's kind of get started. For Block 1 Gov, this is the cartoon I believe that you guys were offered up that week. And obviously the main part of this cartoon is kind of depicted in the wave, which is the vote between Judge Roy Moore and Doug Jones over the open Alabama Senate seat. So obviously that's pretty clearly depicted right here. The thing that the creator is trying to go for in this ad is a discussion of how President Trump did his endorsement of Roy Moore, even with all of the legal consequences and contacts and accusations of pedophilia that went on with him. And by default, the Republican Party also kind of hooked their wagons to Moore, and obviously that turned out to be a defeat for the president and for his party, losing to that Democrat. And, the first time in over 2 decades that a Democrat is going to represent Alabama in the United States Senate. So you kind of have this idea of the wave of popular opinion kind of backlashed against the president and his party. That can also be represented down here by this text box, the idea of roll tide. A lot of you guys who are sports fans probably know the University of Alabama, roll tide roll. So there's kind of a reference to that and this kind of wave of public opinion that came against the president and the Republican Party when it came to this vote. So those were kind of the big things we were looking for in this. You could also maybe talk a little bit about, the Washington Monument being right here, the Capitol building right here. But again, those were sort of the big highlights with that particular cartoon. For second block, for our honors world, this was a cartoon that went along with our discussion of Russia being banned from the upcoming Winter Olympics in South Korea. Obviously, the big part of this being the Olympic symbol and Russia, of course, being there. We have the comment of the Russian bear, kind of their national symbol, which we've seen in other cartoons. We have kind of this idea of steroids giving you, strong, enhanced muscles, but at the same time also leading to, serious health concerns, in some cases even death. And then, of course, down here we have the spilling out of all the different medications, all the different steroids out of the bear, kind of showing what it really is. For a lot of you guys, those were kind of the big things that you hit on. You could also make a comment about the background of this being very icy, so it could be another reference again to the Winter Olympics. So all these are good kind of evidence things that you could have cited in your discussion. For block 3, here we have a cartoon about net neutrality, and obviously you can get a little of that if you go up here and you look at sort of the context of the header up here. Mainly the FCC deciding to peel back some of those regulations from President Obama's administration and basically allow for kind of a free reigning of internet service providers when it comes to speeds. So obviously you have kind of the internet providers here in the form of a big shark kind of breaking free from the net that was these net neutrality laws, and then all the different things in terms of the little fishies here that could potentially be affected, from diversity to net speeds to different content sharing and information sharing and things like that. All that stuff is a possibility for being censored and possibly even being kind of experimented with a little bit by these cable providers now that these neutrality laws are out of the way. But again, still kind of waiting to see if that's actually going to happen. So these were kind of the big evidence. This one was kind of a simplistic cartoon, but was one where we were kind of looking for those main items to be addressed in regards to your discussion. If you have any further questions, let me know. But other than that, we'll be back here again with another recap, and we'll discuss a little bit more kind of the cartoons from that particular quiz. As always, thanks for watching.